It's a sunny day. It's a sunny day. Hey, Joel.
What's up, Brother Keith? Are we on yet?
Up? Yeah, what's going on, Brother Joel? Hey, guess what time it is? Believe it or not, guess what time it is?
We are live.
Yeah, as soon as you push that button, Joel, I found it comes up on, I don't know if it comes up on your screen, but it says broadcast is on live. What's that?
Comes up pretty quickly, right?
Yeah, it comes up almost instantaneous. So
we no longer fool around.
No, well, you don't anyway. Hey, good morning, Themis, Tara, Joe, Barbara, and hey, we got a good crew so far.
Yeah, hey, Tara's on, Joe. Nice. So you keep track on who's on Facebook over there, Keith.
Yes, I will.
I'll check our comments here on this end. All right, we're going to get into this, Keith?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm reading the comments as I'm drinking my cup of coffee. Get your cup of Joe and sit back, relax. We will be right back.
All right, here we go.
From the Somerset Studios in Westchester, Pennsylvania, it's Smack and Jack Live with your co-hosts Keith and Joel Munderman.
Jack up your income, smack it in the face. Jack it up, smack it.
And lit is on. Good morning, everybody. Hey, Joel, I just got to say something to one of our fans.
All right.
Actually, Jim just came on. His mother, Mrs. Ross. She's actually a pretty funny lady. She's I've known her all my life, and not well, but she's always seemed a little reserved to me. And last week she posted something on Facebook that just killed me. It's a little clip of an Irish. You probably saw it, and it's like she's a pretty cool person. So tell that to Mom, would you, Jim? It's she's very she's my kind of thinking,
She's hip, I guess we could say. Right?
And she is very hip, very hip. Yeah.
Right.
So nice. Hey, Birdworks is on. What do we got going on today, Joel? We've been off the air for a week. I feel like I haven't been around for a year. I don't know what's going on. It's completely more than my usual bamboozle, flamboozled, out of sorts kind of thing. How was your 4th of July, Joel? How was your non-4th of July?
We had a very subdued 4th of July. It was nice. We worked on our porch, of course, a little bit, and then we had a very nice dinner. It's kind of funny because Stephanie and I were out working on the porch, and I smelled like somebody cooking, barbecuing. I said, "Oh man, that smells really good. What are we gonna have for dinner tonight, Steph?" And she said, "I don't know, leftovers. We got some pizza in the refrigerator." I was like, "What?
On the 4th of July?
4th of July?
No.
Well,
that's what Uncle Keith does."
Apparently, I guilted her into steak and shrimp.
Nice.
And potato salad. It was a great dinner. Blueberry pie, ice cream, everything.
Good. Very good.
How about you, Keith? What did you do?
Well, I did, I don't know. Well, I worked. First time I worked on the 4th of July forever. I figure if you're going to do it, this year's the year to do it. I was going to go down to Maryland to meet Linda for some fireworks. There's no fireworks anywhere. So I worked until 5 o'clock, came home, took a nap. I went down to the Wilmington waterfront. If you haven't been down there in a while, it's really cool. They got this Constitution.
Down by the ballpark.
Yeah, along in there, they got this beer garden, Constitution Yards or something they call it. It's right on the walk there, and it's they had a little country band playing, and they have right now they're making limiting the amount of people go in, but real nice. I stopped at Taco Bell on the way down, so I had my American 4th of July meal.
There you go.
And stopped by the water and had a couple of beers. It was just a gorgeous evening. So everybody was out, and live band playing for a little while, and that was it. And there was, Wilmington, of course, wasn't having fireworks either, but there was a lot of illegal ones, I guess, from
in the backyard.
Backyard kind of things that were popping up all over the place. There was a little banging here and there. So
yeah, that Wilmington waterfront area has really been rejuvenated down there.
Yes, it has been.
We go down there to the the Blue Rocks game.
Yes,
every year. We didn't go this year, of course, but with the kids, and we sing, and then there's Iron Hill there, and I've never been to that the place you're talking about. That looks really cool, but haven't been there yet. But it's nice and close. You're not going into Philly. You're not going way down to Maryland. You're just going, probably what's that, about 20 minutes, half hour away for you?
Yeah, it's not too far at all, really. It's quick, and I can get to my water, see a little bit of water, makes me feel good, and it's nice. I'm gonna come home.
Cool.
I don't have to quarantine for 14 days after I come back. Not yet. Maybe next time.
Not yet. Yeah, Delaware is on the list, isn't it? Did Delaware just make the list of Pennsylvania? Like, if you go to Delaware, when you come back, you have to quarantine for 14
that's
days?
great. That's great.
Yeah.
Now we got it at work. At the wine store, memo came through about a bunch of states. Delaware wasn't on it yesterday. It might be though. It might be by now. So that's great. So if you go anywhere, I don't know how they're going to pay these.
You do your tax-free shopping. You have to quarantine. Right. So it's worth it. Go ahead. All right,
Patty's on. Hey, Brad. Linda's on. Barbara. All right. What do we got going on, Joel? What's going on?
Let's take a look at my screen for just a second. Who do you see there?
Oh no! I thought it looked like a young Stephanie because I can see Stephanie in the. Oh, that's got to be Sophia.
Yeah, that's Sophia.
Oh.
She is doing well with her driving. I've only driven with her one time. Stephanie's been taking her out.
Okay.
She's been a real trooper taking her out. But this picture here is the first time she actually drove on the road.
Okay.
And came from Delaware County Community College all the way home and drove up our driveway. So I thought.
Now you say Delaware County Community. Community. Okay. Is that where she was learning in the parking lot there? Or?
Yeah. You know what? There's nobody in the parking lot. There's lots of parking lots there. And it's kind of a windy road. It has, has yellow lane down the middle. So we found that that's a nice place to go to do the driving. And then from there, I think she drove out, went up to the Newtown High School, and then came back over the dam, back up.
Good. Yep.
And made that hard left turn at the bike shop.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So apparently she's doing pretty well. So, another threat on the highway.
Right.
With the last name of Lenderman, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So we're happy she's doing well. I think she's finding the accelerator pedal now. Not being too afraid of it, but also finding the brake pedal.
Good.
Kind of an equal balance there. Now we have to learn how to use mirrors.
Yes.
So
does that car have a backup camera in it?
Not that one.
Okay.
Nope.
The new one does, right? The Stephanie's.
Yeah, and actually she's been driving that one more than mine, but my car will be the one that maybe she likely drives a little bit later on. So
okay. Good.
All right. Speaking of threats, Keith, some of you have seen my post in the last few weeks about number one, the emerald ash borer that's killing our trees, not only on our property, but in the entire eastern part of the United States, going Midwest, and eventually it will be out west.
Okay.
Not already. And then the spotted lanternfly.
Oh, are they back?
What's that?
I haven't seen them. Are they back?
Yeah, and I don't think they're going away. All right, so let's take a look, number one, at the emerald ash borer. It's green in color. Tree companies are it's killing the trees to the point where the trees companies, and I just heard this from one of our climbers the other day who came to service one of our trees. He said that the companies are going more towards using the bucket trucks and the cranes to cut trees rather than climbing them. Because once the borer gets in there and the tree dies or the tree's not dead yet, the branches become very brittle. And you know how tree climbers, they go onto this branch to that branch and all that. Well, they're they can't be sure anymore that these trees will support them, especially if they have the borer in them. So let's take a look again at my screen here, and let's go to this one here, and we'll go this way. All right, bye, Soap and Steph. All right, let's see here. Oh wait, sorry. Why is this not moving? There we go. All right, so the emerald ash borer. You may have seen it. On the right there is what it looks like if you see it on the ground. Of course, this is a close-up picture of it here. Can you see all this, Keith?
Yeah, it kind of looks like a cricket.
They do, but they're obviously much smaller than that. But yeah, basically. And this is the larvae here. This is what does most of the damage here. Okay. Once they are out flying around, they don't really damage the tree, but by that point, the damage has been done. Okay.
Oh, okay. I saw the, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
yes.
This here is the larvae is what does the damage because it does the tunneling in the tree. All right, so let's take a look over here to the left. Adults live for 2 to 3 weeks. During that time, females lay 65 to 90 eggs. Okay, down here in the summer and fall, larvae form S-shaped galleries by feeding under the bark, cutting off the tree nutrients. Now, I can't remember all the technical names for this, but essentially, you know, between the tree and the bark is where a lot of the water goes up and down, the nutrients go up and down.
New growth of a tree, yes.
Exactly. And the larvae is cutting that, basically cutting the food line for the tree. Mm-hmm. Larvae overwinter in the bark and outer sapwood. Larvae go through the pupation, I believe that's how you say that, to become adults. Usually takes 2 or 3 weeks for the pupae to become adult beetles. Okay, so they go from here to there. And adults begin to emerge in mid to late May and continue into August. So you'll see these. See how big they are? They're not really that big. You'll see these. I just saw one on top of my car the other day. It was dead. I saw one on the walkway out front. I saw one on out back. They don't seem to live that long as adults, but I believe this whole cycle could take the lifespan from when they're an egg to an adult takes about 2 to maybe 3 years for all this to happen.
Wow.
So the larvae could be in that tree feeding on the tree for almost a good year. Yeah, this here seems to accelerate everything, but other reading says, about 2 to 3 years that maybe sometimes this takes place. All right, with the help of dendrochronological reconstruction, a method of scientific dating, based on the analysis of tree rings, scientists have traced the emerald ash borer back to early 1990s in Michigan. So that's where it came. It came from Canada. I believe it came in through Canada. It came from Asia they think it came from Asia on boats, maybe as part of like the crates on the boats or the wood that was used for ballast on boats.
Okay.
So it was accidentally, of course, imported. Emerald ash borer is spread through the moving of firewood from its initial location. So, Keith, you know all that wood I get from trees?
Mm-hmm.
I should not be giving it to anybody else because that's a big way of how the ash borer is spread.
Okay.
So if you cut down wood on your property, you're legally not allowed to move it within, outside of 50 miles or so forth.
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah. We also know that the borer beetle can fly 1/2 mile from where they have emerged But again, they say most likely the spread of this is through firewood. The emerald ash borer is now recognized as the most harmful pest in North America, having caused the destruction of over 1 million ash trees. This beetle has been recognized as a serious problem, which can cost billions of dollars to fix. Okay, and Keith, what were you saying the other day about, a lot of your frames are made of ash. Is that
ash?
True?
Yeah, ash is very similar. I was telling you yesterday, I don't know, the tree looks a lot like oak, but the grain is very similar to oak. And a lot of my moldings that I call oak are actually, the ones that are made in America are ash. So it's the same grain. It's real nice. It's a straight wood. And
yeah, it's a good quality.
So they make a lot of furniture out of it and molding, it's a really pretty wood. So I would imagine aside from it doing damage to existing stuff, it's, you know, this thing is going to, you know, kill a lot of the trees, and, you know, so we're going to have less to process into furniture.
Exactly. So it's, you know, right. It'll be a chain effect, obviously, as all these insects are. Yes. Okay, so let's move on. Keith, this is the picture of our one tree in our backyard. Now this is in the very corner back to the right, completely dead, not one leaf on it.
Wow.
Now last year it had some leaves and it looked like we would be able to save it, but nothing came back this year. So this is one we're having taken out, I believe, this coming week. This is that same tree, just in the daylight. You can see kind of in the background there, our neighbor's tree is looking a little thin too. All right, here are some holes. They say you look for D-shaped holes. So this is where the adults come out of the tree. So this is, I don't know, these are not all on the same tree, but this is what some of the holes look like coming out. All right, here's a close-up over here. So here's the picture of the hole. This is probably about 1 inch. And on this side, I just made a close-up as best I could. You can see some of the you know, the eating that's been going on in there. Down here is just another hole there. Okay. Typical debris from an ash tree. Actually, Keith, these are branches off of our good tree. They do tend to be a little bit messy. You know, you got to keep them cleaned out, or you know, they're always dropping branches. Good sorts of kindling for firewood and all that, but they do get messy. And you know, when we have events like we had yesterday, with all the rain and wind, when I do the grass today, I'm going to have to clean up the yard first. That might be 2 trash cans of branches. Before I start cutting the wood or the grass. All right, so here's a picture of our healthy tree. This is the one that's in great shape here, right here. So we are having that one treated for the ash borer, so that if there's any insects in that tree, it will kill them.
Now, how does that work, Joel?
Well, the tree company comes in and they actually, I didn't take any pictures of this, but they drill holes in the bottom of the tree, in the trunk. And then they insert, I believe, slow release treatments.
Plugs or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the tree soaks that up. It's, you know, it's kind of like an insecticide. If the tree soaks it up, and then the borers, you know, feed on that and they die. And all this, of course, costs a fair amount of money.
Yeah.
The tree over to the right here, this one we're actually having taken out. See how thin it's gotten here? So that one we're going to have taken out. The one next to it we're going to save, hopefully. It's not in great shape, but they felt that they could save that one. So here's just from the root of our trees looking up. And anybody who has big trees in their backyard, you can appreciate the enormous structures that they are. They're the enormity, I guess, right?
Yeah.
They're really just massive. You know, it's, I don't know, like a wonder of the world. If you think about how heavy a piece of wood is, Keith, when you try to chop it, or you try to pick it up to split it, and
just a little chunk, yes,
just a little tiny chunk. And just think of the weight of these trees. It's just still like it's mind-boggling. Right. Okay, here's just another picture of it going straight up. They
are beautiful trees, Joel.
What's that?
And they are beautiful trees, and I'm just thinking about how many you had, and you've taken down a couple in the last couple of years, and you're going to be taking down more. Very expensive proposition.
Yeah, we've taken them down.
A tree. Yeah, I had a couple.
Good.
I had a couple on my property when I was had a property, but they weren't. I don't know what they were, maples, I think, or something. And we took them down, and luckily, I didn't hit my neighbor's house.
Oh, you did it yourself?
Yeah, we did it ourselves, and there's no way I would even attempt to take these trees down, Joe, myself. I mean, you not only kill yourself, but you could trash your house.
Don't.
And it's truly professional, and they are not cheap because they're the ones that have all the equipment. So, look at the size of this compared to your house, Joel. These are just,
right. So here's our house way down here. This tree here is the one being treated. We're going to try to save that one. This tree right here, we're going to have taken out. Okay, that's one that's halfway dead. The other one that's completely dead is way over there. This one in the front, you know, the one right outside our front door?
Yes.
We just had a cable put in that, a second cable That one's also being treated. And the guy, the climber, he said, I'm not real thrilled about that tree. He said, we're probably just buying time with this one over here as far as treating it. And that was kind of part of the plan. You know, treating it is far less expensive than taking it out, of course.
Yeah, right.
But, you know, we kind of set up a plan of every couple of years now, unfortunately. So, all right. So this one here, what they will do, and we just saw this across the street because our neighbor across the street just had one taken out. So they're going to come in with a crane. They'll literally cut like the top third of this tree off in one piece and then lower it all the way to the ground. And the people at the bottom will cut it up.
Okay.
Remember I said they're not really climbing these trees now.
Right. Yes.
If they're climbing them, they would take them down part at a time. But they're going to cut the top part of this tree and lower the whole thing down, chop it up at the bottom because it's just not safe to climb anymore. So that one's going to go, and then one over in the corner. So they're going to bring in a 55-ton crane to our property. We're not really sure how that's going to work.
Yeah. Now, what's that going to be from the driveway? Hanging over?
Yeah, I'm assuming they're going to come up the driveway. Now, again, the climber who was here the other day working on our tree, I said, yeah, they're going to bring a crane in here. And he went and looked at our driveway. He was like, I don't see him getting up that driveway. But if somebody measured it out and they say it's going to work, then we'll go with what they say.
Great. Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, I saw a question Patty posted. Did you see that last one? You might want to.
Yeah, this one here. Do they only eat ash trees or other trees also? Patty, I believe from my research, this is the emerald ash borer. So it's only ash trees. There's something in the ash trees that they like. Now, I saw in my research there's other types of borers, but I think this ash one probably surpasses any of those other borers as far as destruction of trees and so forth. So they would not do maple. They won't eat oak and those types of things. It's just the ash trees. And it's not only here, it's almost nationally now, you know, in the United States. Let's see. Linda, when we were at Oak Creek, they didn't want campers bringing in firewood. Right, probably for that exact reason. Now, there's probably other insects that we were just talking about, but the ash borer is definitely one of them too. And let's see, make baseball bats. Yep, baseball bats, good for from Ashwood.
Yep.
Thanks, Tara. We appreciate your comment. We appreciate you jumping on here.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on. All right, so Keith, the other thing I want to say about that, if you have ash trees in your yard, you know, have somebody come check them out if you're not sure. If we had started treatment on some of these trees 5 years ago when they actually suggested it, we would not be taking down all these trees right now. Like you said, though, Keith, we have plenty of trees to take down, and we have taken down plenty of trees, and it does get pretty pricey. So if you're looking for a new house, keep that in mind.
Right. Yes. If you are, yes.
Trees get pretty expensive, right?
You can pretty much, Joel, can now put a price tag on every tree that you see. So
yeah,
looking for new property, add that all up and know that eventually something's going to have to be done or they're going to have to be taken down. So
I will tell you this, Keith, everything that we're having done this summer on our trees is not 15 grand.
Yes, yep.
Not 15 grand.
Yeah, man, that's
pretty darn close though.
Yeah, my landlord's a tree guy, and the guy the building next to me is a tree guy, and I'm thinking it's like, man, I went into the wrong profession, but you know, very, very dangerous. I'm sure their insurance premiums are very high. Their equipment is, you know, what does that 50-foot crane cost?
Oh yeah, no kidding.
Well, hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, these things aren't. These aren't. You know, you don't go down to the Toyota dealership and pick one up. They're so. And you know, and they know what they're doing. So don't do it yourself. That's, you know, these DIY. You don't want to DIY a 60-foot tree.
No, a little dogwood, I can take care of that myself. Or and I have taken care of dogwoods or maple trees because small Japanese or
whatever. What are the real small trees? I liked it. They're called it starts with an A.
Boxwood.
No, well, I was going to say azalea, aren't they?
Azalea. They get big too, but
yeah.
Yes. You mean historical azaleas?
Yes.
Where's my laughter? There we go.
Not supposed to trim azaleas at all, but anyway.
Yeah, there's a story behind that, folks. We won't.
Yeah.
All right, Keith, let's brighten things up and talk about the lanternfly. You ready for this?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now, this is a pest that we know about. And I said I haven't seen him. I've seen him. I'm on the news, but I haven't seen any in real life yet this year. But I guess you have, Joel.
Yes, we certainly have here. Let's see if I can get this thing moving here. All right. So the spotted lanternfly. Can you see that, Keith?
Yeah, they're gross.
Yeah, pretty gross. So this is what we've been dealing with mostly right here, the very early stage nymph, and they are turning to this now. We see more and more of the red ones. We haven't seen any of the winged one yet. They'll be coming, so we're trying to kill as many of these as possible. Let's do a little reading about it, and I'll show you what we're doing about the lanternfly here at 534 Baba Mill Road. So, yeah, the spotted lanternfly came from Asia that primarily feeds on the tree of heaven. Now, the tree of heaven is invasive itself. So if you have one of those trees, you might want to just get somebody to take it down. Yeah. But can also feed on a wide variety of such as grapevines, hops. And now hops, Keith, we should be worried about that.
Oh, that is not good. I'm
all right.
Did not know that.
Walnut, fruit trees, and others. This insect could impact New York's forests. Okay, so this is I forgot to tell you, this is a New York 2 years old, but all the pictures are from Pennsylvania.
Wow, no kidding.
The nymphs are white with spots and turn red before transitioning into adults. They can be seen as early as April and appear in July and are approximately 1 inch long, eye-catching wings. We'll see eggs in just a second. Where are they located? They started apparently discovered in Pennsylvania in 2014. Again, coming in shipping containers, they think, wood crates and so forth. They will lay their eggs on anything. Now they typically like to feed on, wild grapevine. That grapevine, Keith, that you have grown all over the highway and stuff like that.
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
They like feeding on that type of stuff, and I guess regular good grapevine as well. Okay, so they are located in Pennsylvania. As far as a risk, and I would say this risk would be nationwide, is that, let's see, sorry about that. Agricultural and forest health, they use their sucking mouth parts to feed on sap of more than 70 plant species, feeding sometimes thousands of flies, stress plants, making them vulnerable to diseases and attacks from other insects. So with a whole lot of them sucking sap from a tree, most of them, they create what's called honeydew, because these bugs take in more sap than they can process. So then they excrete the sap, and then that drips onto plants and so forth, and it kind of triggers black mold to grow.
Right.
Okay. In Pennsylvania, where populations are the densest, people can't be outside without getting honeydew on their hair, their clothes, and other belongings. So I don't know if you've ever been in the yard, Keith, and you felt like something drop on you and you think, well, that's not rain. It must be sap. Well, it could be sap, or it could be an excretion from these bugs here.
Oh, great.
Yes. So it became apparently very sticky. So how do they spread to new areas? Well, again, they can fly short distances, but they typically jump themselves, or they're like plant hoppers.
Okay.
But mostly through human activity. They'll move on cars, firewood, furniture, stone, and all those places are places where they can breed. Okay, over here on the right, Keith, can you see all this?
Yes.
This is what their eggs look like on the side of a tree. Now, they can be on the side of a tree. They can be on a bench. They can be on concrete. They could be in your car. Let's just kind of get through all this stuff. You guys can look up. The one picture I wanted to show you that's really kind of gross. Look at this tree here.
Yeah.
This is somewhere in Pennsylvania, probably over the last year or two. But those are all adult lanternflies. Pretty gross, huh?
I hope whoever took that picture sprayed vigorously right after taking the picture. Holy cow.
No kidding. And there's the swing set.
Yeah.
Kid. And there's little toys over there.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Or maybe just light the property on fire and drive away.
Something. All right. Let's take a look at what we have here on Bob and Mill Road. Okay, so we have been putting duct tape around our trees. So we put it up backwards so that the lanternfly will get stuck to it. This is our third time doing this. Okay, so we've taken it down, they fill up, we take it down, do it again. All right, here it is up close. And closer. Okay, now when you put the tape around, duct tape's not such a big deal, but they do make specific tape to trap them, and it's a whole lot thicker, whole lot wider, and goes around. However, when you do that, when you put that tape up, you're supposed to put chicken wire over top of it so that birds and bats and other small animals won't get trapped on it.
Right, you're right. I have seen pictures of birds getting trapped on these things.
Yeah, so the duct tape, I feel, is just enough to catch the bugs, but not strong enough to hold a bird or something. Plus, it's not that wide, so a bird could get a foot off of it,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Now, the one thing I do want to say is that we forgot and left a piece of tape out in the yard next to this tree the other day when we set this up. When I came out the next day, that piece of tape that I just left on the ground moved, and there were 4 feathers stuck to it.
Oh.
A bird got caught in that piece of tape I left on the ground.
Okay.
All right. So but I think basically though we're not too bad. All right, let's move on. We're running out of time here, Keith. Here's a little video.
Yeah. God, look at him crawling all over Joel.
Like that. Cow. All over here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. They love this tree. The maple trees they love. So check your maple trees. Okay. Here's another little gem of a video.
So you're not using any insecticide. You're just using these.
No, you know what, Keith? I put down some Bug Be Gone, a granule form, and I don't think it really did anything.
Doesn't bother them at all, huh?
No. However, I might check out these little guys. Okay, they're on their way up. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. So what happens is they're born in the tree, but then they fall out.
Okay.
So now they're trying to get back to their food source.
Ugh.
So when you wrap that around there. And fortunately, above the tape, Keith, I haven't seen any above the tape, which means the tape is actually doing a really good job.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Good.
But unfortunately, the tape is only going to work a little bit longer because once they become adults, they get wings, and then they can fly around.
Anywhere. Right. Yeah.
The tape's really not going to do too much. So now we need to come up with something different there. So
now, do these bugs have a predator?
You know what? I think neither one of these bugs really have a predator because they were imported, and there's no natural predator at this point.
Birds and
yeah. So they're just, the lanternfly. I did read that some spiders will attack them and kill them, but they say that's negligible. And there is in Korea, I think they were developing a wasp to take care of the lanternfly. And I don't know if they're importing that or bringing that to the States yet. I get really concerned when they start bringing in insects. Yeah. We have enough problem with the accidental ones.
Right.
Let's not bring in man-made insects.
Right.
Because that's going to start being an issue as well. I don't think that's a good idea. Let's see what some questions are here. They are really beautiful. It's a shame they cause so much damage. They are, they
are kind of neat looking, but there's too many of them.
Although once they get to be an adult, they're a little freaky. Be careful not to use tape around it. It can harm birds. Yes, did see a lot about that, Joy. So again, I don't think the duct tape in the narrow band is as harmful as some of those wider strips that are super sticky. I mean, I can see where that is an issue, but certainly I'm keeping an eye on that. I need an old-fashioned fly swatter for my lantern flies. That is a great idea. The only problem, Keith, is what? Yeah. When you say, it's not like a fly.
No, they're big, and you got to keep that outside. Yeah, keep it outside. And
Keith, let's move on.
Yeah, we're running out of time, and we're only halfway through the show, Joel. Let's what else we got going on?
Folks, if you're getting any value out of our show today, just a little bit, if you learned a little bit about how bad these bugs are, we'd love for you to smack the like button, love the love button, give us a share.
I gotta tell you, where do they come from? China. They're coming from China.
Yeah.
That's the worst impression I've ever seen. But anywho.
Let's just ask or see what the question here is. Have you seen the special traps that the high school kid invented for capturing lanternflies? Yeah, I think that is that the one that wraps around the tree. I did see that, Patty, but that looked to be like a really, really big involved, setup. I thought maybe the tape would just be easier.
Well, the high school kid, he's ambitious, he's young, and he's got the summer off.
I think it was a girl.
Okay.
I think it was a girl. But once they get bigger, yeah, Patty, we'll need to investigate, like when they're flying at, something a little bit different. All right, Keith, let's move on.
Yes.
Do we want to do some trivia and jokes?
Yes.
What time do you have?
It's 10 up. We got to move quickly here. I think I got people coming in at 10.
Okay.
And, one of our show audience today is I'm right in the middle of her work, so I got to get that done before.
Okay.
It's looking great, by the way, Patty.
Why don't we just go to jokes, Keith?
Yeah. Okay.
And then we'll get off here because
let's do some jokes. Okay.
So much fact stuff here. Okay. This show has been just too jam packed with good information. We run out of time. Okay, Keith. What should you do if your cake strikes out?
What?
Call in the next batter.
Oh, very good. Yes.
Why did the mama bread get mad at her kids?
Why?
They were always loafing around. What's small, round, and blue?
I don't know.
A cranberry holding its breath. And last one. Why did the tomato turn red?
Why?
It saw the salad dressing.
Well, I tell you, if nothing else, Joel, that joke book never fails us. Gotta tell you, the best, just hilarious.
All right, folks. I think that's it. We'll hold on to our trivia and our This Day in History. What was the big This Day in History one that you saw?
Aaron Burr, not to be confused with Raymond Burr, today in this day, I don't know what year it was, shot Alexander Hamilton in a duel, killed him in a duel.
Yeah, and we were just discussing, Keith wasn't so excited about the show Hamilton, but Stephanie and I watched Hamilton this past week because it's on Disney Plus, and it was definitely worth a watch. Yeah, definitely worth it. Patty, you've seen it? I think, Patty, you've watched Hamilton. Anybody else watch Hamilton? But I wasn't real excited when it first came on. I'm not like a big rapper or anything like that. But, I kind of...
Oh, that's surprising, Joe. I thought you were more of the rapper kind of person.
There's a whole lot to the show, so
yeah.
I was like, wow, this is actually very good. So anyway, just a recommendation there. All right, Keith, ready to get out of here?
Yes, yeah. Thanks for stopping by, guys. We'll have something more for you next week. I'm pretty sure. Yes, next week I have the first day I've had off in forever on a Saturday. So we'll get something together for you next week, and join us again. And remember, you deserve a thought of your own. So
be in touch to learn, laugh, and live. Thanks for joining us, guys.
See you guys next week. Thanks for stopping by.
And